So I reckon that we qualify as a world music event, since we have intercontinental connections, especially with our friends John and Caroline Bushby, who commenced their musical adventures in Tasmania. Please show your appreciation for Anne.
Thank you. Northeast musician Andy May set out to write a tune commemorating Northumberland's last working pit. Unfortunately, circumstances overtook him, and it became more of a lament after the pit closed. It's simply called Ellington. Continue with the tune of a song called Geordie Black. It's an old miner singing about he's too old to work underground anymore, so he has to work on the surface with the children. And I'll follow that with a tune by the 19th century fiddler James Hills called The Cage. And the cage was designed as a safe way to take the men underground. Only when the beam engine broke, the men in the cage were the first ones to die. for the very old tune called The Bonnie Pit Lad.
Thank you, Anne. The Pitman poet Joseph Shipsey was from North Shields, and he became renowned and patronised by the elite society in Victorian England. He wrote about his roots and returned at the end of his days to live in Gateshead. At one time, he was the curator of the Shakespearean Museum at Stratford-upon-Avon, and he was the writer of the iconic Hartley Lament, which he wrote to raise funds for a disaster relief effort. A couple of years ago, Chris Harrison contacted us and has since been a regular visitor to the North East, recently invited to play at several different cultural events. The connection Chris has with the North East is that he is a descendant of Joseph Chipley, and he is keeping the family tradition of finely crafted poetry and song alive. It's always a privilege to welcome Chris to New Hartley. Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, I was in fact born and grew up in South Shields, but moved away around about the time I went to university. But Joseph Skipsey was my great-great-grandfather, so it's a real pleasure to be back here and singing his songs. I've chosen 4 of the poems which have to do with miners and mining life, And the first one is called The Collier Lad, and it's got a chorus if you fancy joining in. I've heard you singing before, so there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad so tight or trim or bright as is me Collier Lad. Me laddie is a collier lad, and ere the lark awakes, he's up and away to spend the day where daylight never breaks. But when at last the day is past, all washed and cleanly clad, he courts his Nell who loveth well her handsome collier lad. Oh, there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. Merry lad is he, and when a holiday comes round, he spends the day with glee. He'll tell a tale with a pint of ale and crack a joke and bad. Must be the heart that loveth not to hear the collier lad. Oh, there's not as much in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. At bowling matches on the green he ever takes the lead, for none can swing his arm or fling with such a pith and speed. His ball is seen to skim the green and bound as if it's glad to hear the cry of victory salute the collier lad. Oh, there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. When in the dance he doth advance, the rest all sigh to see how he can spring and kick his heels while they are wearied be. He does 1, 2, 3 with either knee, and then you'd think he's mad. A heel how a heat to finish does me dancing collier lad. Oh, there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. Besides a will and pith and skill, me laddie owns a heart which never once would suffer him to play a cruel part. To the poor he'd open the door and share the last he had, and many a secret blessing's poured upon me collier lad. Oh, there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. No, there's not his match in Smoky Shields, Newcastle never had a lad more tight or trim or bright than is me collier lad. This next one was described by the pre-Raphaelite poet Dante Gabriel Rossetti as one of the finest in the English language. It's very short, and it sort of encapsulates the feeling of going to work in the morning and never knowing if you're going to be back. It's called Get Up. It's very short. Get up, the caller cries, get up, and in the dead of night, to win the bairns their bite and sup, I rise a weary wight. My flannel done, thrice sore I kiss the bairns, and then with a sigh I close the door. I may not open again. Which leads us to my great-great-grandfather's most famous poem, which he entitled The Hartley Calamity. You, of course, all know the story. What perhaps sets it apart from some other poems about mining disasters is that he imagined himself being inside the mine at the time of the disaster, so he tells the story from the inside, and of course he was for much of his life a miner himself, so he knew what it was like. So it charts the journey from shock to hope to despair to resignation, all in the course of the poem. So here's the Hartley Calamity. The Hartley men are noble, and you'll hear a tale of woe. I'll tell the tale of the Hartley men in the year of 62. 'Twas on a Thursday morning in the first month of the year, when there befell an event which well may rend your heart to hear. Before the day when most folk lay still sleeping in their beds, the Hartley men were up and off to earn their daily bread. On they toil, in heat they broil, and streams of sweat soon glue the stour to their skins, till they are black as the coal they hew. And back and forth the putters go, the wagons to and fro, and clang of wheel and hoof ring in the mine below. The din and strife of human life awaken board and wall, when suddenly they feel a shock and terror grips them all. Each bosom thuds as each is duds, he snatches and away. Towards the distant shaft he flees with all the speed he may. They flee by two, by three, towards the shaft and seek an answer in each other's face for what they dare not speak. Are we entombed, they seem to ask, for the shaft is blocked and no escape have they to God's bright day from out the night below. So stand in pain the Hartley men, and swiftly o'er them comes fond thoughts of their families and memories of their homes. Despair at length renews their strength, but they the shaft must clear, and soon the sound of mal and pick drowns out the voice of fear. And hark to the blow of the mal below, do sounds above reply. Hurrah, hurrah for the Hartley men, for now their rescue's nigh. But even as for their escape, the men to hope did dare. A further rumble shakes the mine and drives them to despair. Yet as they kneel again, they feel their strength renewed again. The ring and swing of the mal attests the might of the Hartley men. And hark to the blow of the mal below, do sounds above reply. Hurrah, hurrah for the Hartley men, for now their rescue's nigh. But the beam that collapsed has blocked the shaft, there's nowhere left to crawl. One by one the lights go out and darkness covers all. Dear Father, till the shaft is cleared, close beside me keep. My strength is gone, my eyes are tired, I know that I must sleep. Oh, sleep, my son, close by I'll stay, and a watch o'er thee I'll keep. To stay awake, the Father strives, but he knows he too will sleep. Oh, brother, till the shaft is cleared, close beside us keep. My strength is gone, my eyes are tired, I know that I must sleep. Sleep, brother, sleep, close by I'll stay, and a watch o'er thee I'll keep. To stay awake, the brother strives, but he knows he soon will sleep. So down below the Hartley men prepared to meet their fate, while up above by the black pit heap people could only wait. And fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers, the lover and the new made bride, a vigil kept for those who slept from eve to morning tide. And still they sleep in silence dread, 200 old and young, to awake when heaven and earth have sped, and the final trumpet rung. Thank you very much, and it means a lot to me to come and sing that here, so thank you for being a very appreciative audience. I'll just sing one more song, and it's another quite short one. Despite all the hardship and terrible things happening in his life and the lives of those around him, Joseph Skipsey thought himself a very lucky man because he had the gift of poetry, if you like, and the ability to move out of his daily life and go into the life of the imagination and the poet. And that was really what kept him going, I think. And he called that, the gift of poetry, called it his golden lot, his great good fortune. So this song, this poem is called The Golden Lot. Night and day, and still to the music of labour I lilt my heartfelt lay. I lilt my heartfelt lay, and the gloom of the deep, deep mine and the din of the factory dieth away, and a golden lot is mine. gloom of the deep, deep mine, and the din of the factory dieth away, and a golden lot is mine, and a golden lot is mine, far from the deep, deep mine, where the din of the factory is far, far away, and a golden lot is mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. We're now going to have a short interval to allow you to stretch your legs, browse the CDs and perhaps a few refreshments. We'll see you later. Thank you. Now we come to our traditional finale to the concert. Here's the song that helped keep up the spirits during the 1984 miners' strike. Perhaps, given the recent disclosures, it's appropriate to reflect upon the balance of power between the media message and the still, small voice of conscience that a song of courage and hope can bring in times of trouble. Most of all, remember that when you sing along with someone else, that's much more important than 100 episodes of X Factor. Thanks to everyone tonight who's worked so hard and brought the talent and support to make the event a success, particularly our sound engineer. And a special thanks to Keith. Who has tirelessly produced these memorial concerts year after year. It's 11 now. Wow. Well done, Keith. Please let's have a round of applause for all the performers as we begin the song, Miner's Life.
Miner's life is like the sailors on a ship to cross the waves. Every day his life's in danger, still he ventured being brave. Watch the rocks that falling day, careless minds always fail. Keep your hand upon your wages and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, do not heed the owner's tale. Keep your hand upon your wages and your eye upon the scale. You've been docked and docked again, lads. You've been loading 2 for 1. What have you got for working since your mining day began? Worn out boots and worn out miners, your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the scale. Soon this trouble will be over. Union men will have their rights. After many years of danger, digging days and digging nights, it's by honest soil we labor, careless miners always fail. Keep your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, do not heed the owner's tale. Keep your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the scale. Let no union man be weakened by newspapers' false reports. Be like sailors on the ocean, trusting in your brave reports. Stand like men, stand together. Unions make all you prevail. Keep your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, do not heed the owner's tale. Keep your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, do not heed the owner's tale. Keep your hand upon your wages, and your eye upon the
My name is Doug Wood, and the rest of the team wish you all a very good night and a safe journey home. Good night, everyone. There's going to be a little sing-along.